Brian's boutonniere fell off right at the beginning of the ceremony. It just. But I remember Brian's. It literally as if it like combusted. It just. Petals like flew up and it just.
Hey, people getting married out there on the interwebs. Hi, welcome to our UnVeiled. This is me, OJ, wedding photographer from Hobo Productions. And today we have with us Keeanna.
Hi.
And we had shot her wedding March 23rd of 2024. This year's 2024. That's the year we're in. And she's here. We're here to just talk about her wedding and to just basically give you guys tips and tricks and insights from the wedding day, what she's learned, what she experienced, and kind of just do a little reminiscing also about it. So, we'll jump right into it. Keeanna, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, OJ?
Good. I mean, it's so cool to have you here. It's like, I feel we've come full circle.
We absolutely have.
Like, oh my gosh, full circle. So, here's the backstory of how Keeanna makes me old. Okay? I shot her quinceañera. And then eventually I get a call, hey, I'm getting married. I'm like, no, but you're like 15. What do you mean getting married? You get married at 15? Because you're not 15 anymore. Which means I'm old. And it's the first time that happened where a kid that I shot is now not a kid. Stop being not a kid. I know.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
I won't say the year of the quince if that makes you feel better.
Sure. I actually wanted to kind of reminisce about your quinceañera also. Like, what stands out the most when you think back to your quince?
I would say just it was definitely the first big event of my life, but I mean, most people who have a wedding, not a lot of them have experienced something like that, a big event in their life. A wedding is like such a big shock, like how much goes into planning and everything like that. But to have the quince kind of made it kind of like felt like when I had my wedding, like okay, the steps are being repeated and planning the wedding, kind of like it's a big culmination of years of planning and a lot of money too,
Yeah,
for some
always.
people.
In the event planning level, what do you think was the biggest difference between wedding and quince? Or are they really similar? Because I always feel like, man, it's pretty much a small wedding.
I would say it can and can't be the same because with a wedding, for the most part, you really have to consider your spouse's family and your spouse's preferences. Fortunately for me, Brian, my husband, he was very like hands off and was just like, you do your thing, but I still had to consider things, that his parents might have thought was important. And I think a lot of opinions can come in with a wedding too, because there's a lot of moving parts. A lot of people have emotions attached to certain things.
So it's like twice the amount of input for the wedding day versus a quinceañera. It's just like parents and you.
Yeah, I would say maybe even 10 times the input because it's not just, a quinceañera is about one person, whereas a wedding is about bringing a family together, and it depends, value, things people value, people have opinions on, all of that kind of comes to surface. So,
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely an emotionally charged day. That's something that I keep in mind, like in my professional experience. Like, it's not about me taking a picture, it's about the bride and groom having this emotionally charged, positive experience of a day. And everything else that we do is just to back that up. If it's better to not take a picture and let them have an experience, I prioritize them having the experience over what we need, you know?
right.
So, and one of the things that Sheila and I talked about in an episode, I was like, I'm not a big fan of the first look because to me, I get the practical reasons for a first look, but to me, the bang of like, how did it feel when you were walking up the aisle?
It was
Walk us through that.
I just remember it was raining on my wedding day, and I was just so focused on getting into the church without my hair and makeup getting messed up. And I think I did a pretty good job on that. I was very lucky that I didn't, my makeup didn't fall apart. My hair was still intact. Um, so after I had already like calmed down after that, I was like, okay, I'm in the church. I'm fine. I'm not all wet. I got or my wrapped my arms around my brothers because they walked me down the aisle. Since my father passed away, sadly. And I just remember the doors opening, and one being happy that he was there because it's just I think when you're in the moment, it's like, well, what if he's not there? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know if you want to put that in the interview, but
No, it's cute.
that was fun. Yeah, just I was like, okay, he's there, and like it was. I just remember like exhaling and be like, okay, everything's fine. And then like I didn't even focus on anything else. I was like, I just want to get up there to him. Like that's all I cared about.
I'm just gonna bounce all around. The dress, gorgeous.
Thank you.
How did you know it was a one? Who went with you? Like, tell us about it. Hey there, I am so glad that you made it this far into the video. Hopefully you're enjoying it. So I'm interrupting it really quick just to tell you about our sponsor, Hobo Productions. That's us. If you want Sheila and I or our team filming your wedding day and photographing your wedding day, think of Hobo Productions for your Southern California wedding. Link's gonna be in the description below. Now back to your show.
Yeah, so one day my mom and I just decided to go. We didn't even make an appointment. We just showed up.
Oh.
And I remember just picking different styles. I kind of had an idea of what I wanted, and it was definitely not what I picked out, which I know apparently a lot of brides I've heard have that same experience that they think they know what they want, but then when they try something else on, it's like, well, this is the run. So I had a ball gown, and as a kid, I always wanted a ball gown. Then as I got older, my style and preferences changed. So that was the last thing on my list. And I had tried on maybe like 10 or 15 dresses. I wasn't happy with any of them. And my mom had actually picked out my dress, and it was the last one, and we had forgot that we'd picked it out, I had forgot that it was there. And she's like, oh, well, we have this one still. So I was like, I don't know. Tried it on, loved it. And the best part is that there were like no other dresses there like that. It was the only one. And it was like at a sale price.
Ooh,
so they gave it to us, yeah, for much cheaper than it sold.
where were you? Where was it?
At Davis Bridal.
Davis Bridal.
Davis Bridal in Brea, yeah.
Okay, Brea Dale's Bridal. And then it was like one of those, that's it.
As soon as I saw myself in there, I was like, this is it. And I didn't even know that it was marked down.
Hey.
So it worked out.
Go markdowns.
And so we didn't plan it. I had always thought like I would invite a bunch of people, but I didn't expect to find the dress that day. But it was nice to just have just my mom there and just something special we could share.
So, for both, I noticed for both your quince and the wedding, you had the classic car thing going. I mean, in your quince, you had the horse and carriage thing too. Mm-hmm. Transportation. How did you come up with these ideas? What's the genesis of those things?
So for the quinceañera, that was my mom's idea. Like you said, she was kind of the ringleader, I guess, of that. I didn't have a lot of I didn't really care about stuff with my quince. I was more like, I just want to have one. But for my wedding, the original plan was to actually not have any transportation, just to kind of hop in a car. But my mom is the one who brought up the idea. She said, you want to have nice photos. It's going to look good in the video. And it was, to be frank, I just thought of it as like, well, it's just money I don't want to spend. But, okay, looking back, I'm so glad that we did that because the pictures came out great. And on my thank you cards, we have the front that's a picture of me and Brian that says thank you for attending our special day or something like that. And then if you flip it, it's a picture of us in the car.
Oh, okay.
Which was perfect. It was the perfect photo for that card.
Anything stand out to you for the ceremony? Any highlights for you?
Highlights? My favorite part of the ceremony was when Father Ray, which is the pastor that officiated our wedding ceremony, he had us write each other a letter to each other in 50 years, pretending it's our 50th anniversary. And we didn't know he was going to read this at the ceremony. And I think he did that on purpose because it allowed us to really be authentic and not just write something for show. Because for me, and I can tell for Brian too, with what he put in his letter, very thoughtful things we truly meant for each other, because we thought we were going to read these at another time. We had no idea that we were going to read aloud. So it was a nice surprise. And we got a lot of compliments too from our guests on how much they really enjoyed that touch. That was like a nice personal touch. And
And that's not common in a Catholic ceremony. I was in another episode, I was talking about how when sometimes people will do a first look so that they can give each other private vows, especially when you're doing, let's say, a Catholic ceremony where those things aren't part of it. But it's neat that he integrated that, and it just, like you said, adds a personal touch, right?
But
you mentioned how people complimented that moment. Are there any things that stood out to your guests about your wedding day?
the guests really liked that. They really liked the ceremony in general. And guests loved the candy bar and the photo booth. Like, I think it's important to think about not just what things you want, of course, it's your wedding, but it is important, in my opinion, to value your guests.
Yeah.
And put them first, because a lot of them, I mean, we had family and friends from out of state, out of the country, come spend time at our event, and it's like, for the least we could have done is, give them treats and make them feel really welcomed and that they can really enjoy themselves.
That goes a long way. Any of those extra things to help entertain the guests or just give treats to the guests, I think it just makes for happy guests, and happy guests means bigger party. It's all about enjoying at that point, right? We're done with the ceremony. Let's just have fun and sweets. Come on, sweets.
And
I'm usually flying around that area while trying to hide from Sheila because I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, I hope you guys took candy because they were.
I can't imagine I didn't.
Good. Another thing guests really liked about our wedding was the dance floor energy and the DJ, because we really wanted to make sure that people didn't feel like they couldn't go up and dance or like they felt out of place. Like, we tried to really encapsulate all genres, all music tastes into
Of your guests.
Yeah, and that's
shout out to
DJ Chris.
DJ Chris.
Thank you, Chris, if you ever see this.
Speaking of treats, we got to bring it up here. You guys got yourself a little treat. Tell us about your boba thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
you were wondering what am I getting?
I was like, what's he getting at?
Your boba.
The boba, yeah. So our first date was at a boba shop in Whittier, and it's walking distance from the church and from the venue that we had our reception at. And that was something that was really important to us because it was sort of a full circle moment. We had no idea on our first date that we would marry each other. I surely didn't, and it was nice that the manager at the boba shop cleared space for us and allowed you guys to set up your equipment, and just told us we can be there as long as we need whatever we needed, whatever you needed, that they would provide. So
and provide they did.
Yeah.
it was awesome. I mean, that's the thing. I love when couples really make a wedding their own and just let their personality come through. And going to the boba shop that was so you. It was so about you guys, and it just added that extra special touch. And not people don't do that, and I think it's cool. So try inspiration for that, brides and grooms. If it logistically works out, do something special like that in the middle. Everything's all about planning, and we had enough time. Actually, because did we have a Catholic gap? I call it the Catholic gap.
Yeah, we had like a 4-hour gap.
So, which gave us enough time to go.
Yeah.
So it was perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. So your venue was also in Uptown Whittier in Fiesta Hall. I know you guys use that also for
my quince and for my brother's wedding.
So, I mean, you guys love that place. What's up with Fiesta Hall? Why do you dig that place so much?
Well, costs were expensive, and we really wanted to keep everything in Whittier, and so we're like, that would be the most ideal place, especially for the boba, because that really allowed us to not have to really rush. And we also were trying to think about locations that were convenient for people who were going to be staying at the nearby hotel or going to be traveling. We didn't want them to be feeling like they needed to Uber, or that they needed to get a ride or rent a car.
Is
They
it
could
walking
walk
distance?
everywhere. Yeah,
It is, huh? It's just like straight shot.
everything is. And um, the church and the venue, so St. Mary's and the Fiesta Hall, are on the same cross street.
Yeah.
So technically, they could have walked to the venue.
Okay, is there anything that if you had to do differently, would you do anything differently from your wedding day?
You know, Brian and I actually talked about that not too long ago, and I we just are so happy with how everything turned out. We just feel very blessed that we had such a wonderful turnout. Everyone was so happy to be there. So I honestly wouldn't change anything. I'm so happy with how everything turned out. Maybe the fact that it didn't rain in the morning, that if that, but you know, sometimes a lot of people say it's symbolic when it rains on your wedding, that it's good luck. So
Sure. You know, the Chinese people, I think it's Chinese, that it's good luck to get pooped on. Like by a bird.
oh, yeah, that's right.
Not by a
That's
person.
right. Oh, I was like, yeah, the bird one makes sense. I've heard that one.
One time we were shooting and Sheila got bird poop in her mouth.
How? How did that happen? You looked up?
I looked up. So we're sitting under the tree,
Oh,
and the tree has a lot of birds, and I was like,
oh no.
So off camera, Sheila's saying, I was like,
yeah.
one of my favorite memories. Fun times, fun times. Just in case, was there any challenges in your wedding day and like any problems that arose and how did you tackle that?
Pretty smooth for the most part. If anything, just the rain, because we had
Which
to
you
come
can't
up with,
control.
yeah, we had to come up with plan B, because remember we were gonna go, we were going to take photos at the park,
Mm.
and then obviously with the weather, luckily the contingency plan worked out. The hotel,
The hotel courtyard.
yeah,
Or the
and
pool
courtyard
area.
and the hallway, like everything turned out really nice. And looking back, that was the best thing, because everything popped in those photos, like in the video, like it looked so beautiful, and everyone was very happy to be indoors.
That's true.
So yeah, I'm very happy with how
So
that
we,
turned out.
we together as a team rolled with those punches.
Yeah.
And you know, that's one of the things that I advise brides, like things will happen out of your control on wedding day. And you know what, as long as you're getting married still, that's it. That's the most important thing. Everything else, just roll with it. Because, you know, I had a couple where the cake like toppled and they just laughed. Best reaction ever.
Yeah.
Just laugh. Because it is funny. And it's
Yeah.
just cake.
That
Whatever.
Yeah, that actually reminds me. I'm glad you brought that up, because there was an issue. Brian's boutonniere fell off right at the beginning of the ceremony. It literally as if it like combusted. It just, petals like flew up, and it just, and
Okay.
I remember we were sitting down and the priest is talking, and it just falls, and he does
Oh,
this
in the middle of the ceremony?
at the beginning, like
Oh.
not even like 15 minutes in, 10, 15 minutes in, and I was like, I literally chuckled, and he's like, and I said, just pick it up. I said, put it in your pocket. So if you look at the video, you'll see there's at the very beginning, the boutonniere's perfect, and then go like 15, 20 minutes after, it's in his pocket.
And that brings my point home. Like, you just kind of giggled at it. And that's really the best thing you can do sometimes. Just like laugh at the dumb thing that happened and know that either way, you're getting united as one. And in a sense, that's almost like something that you can take home about life. Because there's so many things about life that you're not going to be able to control.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just got to laugh about it and then roll with it and then figure it out. Right? And then don't cry over that spilled milk.
Yeah.
So, and you didn't. Right? So that's wonderful. I guess to wrap things up, I should have started with this, but like, how has life been since how many months now?
7.
Okay, so
months.
we're close to a year. You know, we're getting there. How was married life?
Married life is so great. We went on our honeymoon 2 days after the wedding. So we were in Paris for about like 10 days. And as soon as we got back, we moved into our place that we're renting right now. And we've been there ever since, and we really, really love it. We've learned a lot about each other, and it's made our bond so much stronger. And every day is just such a blessing.
I mean, speaking of bonding, seems like you've been doing a lot of bonding.
I don't know how you want to lead into this.
That's how I'm leading in.
Okay.
Is that apparently what happened
Yeah.
with all this
now
bonding?
I'm 3 months pregnant.
And how is that going?
Good. It's thankfully for me, I've been feeling pretty good every day. We're really excited to have a baby. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet.
Are you gonna find out, or
We will
are
find
you
out.
gonna mystery? Okay, you're
No,
gonna know.
we're gonna find
About a-
out in about a week. Yesterday was actually my ultrasound.
That early?
Yeah.
Oh, because like back in our time, it was like 5 months, 6 months, I think. But you can find out this soon now.
Yeah, with blood test.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
nice.
So
Um,
yesterday was actually our ultrasound. I'll show you a photo of the baby after.
okay. Oh, you got.
Yeah, I don't have.
Are there discernible features?
Not really. Not right now.
I always think like, man, they just using the same photo for everyone.
Maybe, yeah.
They don't even know.
They
It's the
just
same.
measure the size of the neck and other like arms and stuff, just to make sure there's no like.
Yeah, it's all one photo. They gave the same.
Yeah.
It's just the same alien.
It's the same alien. Yeah.
And to kind of wrap up, the real wrap up is there any advice, like any like major take home one piece of advice that you'd have for the brides out there that's planning their wedding still? And you can talk right into that camera to talk to brides directly. Yeah.
Yeah. So to all those brides who are planning a wedding, just hang in there. And it's easier said than done, but just take it day by day, and don't ever hesitate to ask for help, especially if you've got a really good support system. Lean on those people. I'm sure that they would be more than happy to participate and pitch in and help you however they can. And just do your best, even in the stressful moments. Just try to make the best of it, because it's not going to last forever. Trust me, as soon as the wedding hits, those custom cocktail napkins that you're probably stressing out about are not even going to matter. So
That's true.
just hang in there.
You know, it's neat that you brought up like support system, because it takes a village. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child, but that village starts at the wedding, right? Because that network and support system can really help with so many things to make the wedding day just happen. I always think of it, it feels like a movie production.
Yeah.
It just happens one day though, this movie production. And not everyone's used to that much things happening, you know? So when you have more people that you can count on, it really helps. And it's a nice start to the life together, right? Because you see both sides hopefully coming in and helping.
For sure.
Well, thank you for being here with us and taking your time and sharing these stories and reminiscing on your wedding day with us. We hope, that we can keep on being a part of the different stages of your family's burgeoning life, and I hope that you guys got some cool nuggets from Keeanna's wedding day. We'll always be putting the gallery down below in the description, so you can kind of Pinterest board your way through some of the cool ideas that she had on her wedding day, and the video will be down there too. In case it gives you any ideas to kind of just get your juices flowing about what you want to do on your wedding day. There's a lot of things that went right, and she no regrets on wedding day. Like, that's so cool. That's so awesome that there wouldn't be anything you change. But I think that's also your mindset. And I think, to me, that's a big take home that I want to give to the guests, is like, it's so much about Keeanna's mindset that just made she even forgot about that boutonniere thing, because it wasn't that important. At the end of the day, it wasn't that important. And that's so much about the wedding day, is like really truly know what's going to be important to you and make that count instead. So until next time, thank you for being here with us, and stay tuned for more interviews and more brides and more inspiration for your wedding day. I'm OJ, UnVeiled. See you next time. I'm still perfecting that actual thing. We'll get there. I know it. We're working on it.
I wasn't sure what to do. So I'm like, I'll just look back.
Yeah, to like, yeah,
That's okay.
high fives.